Today is Tuesday, September 2nd, and this is the Bay Blend from WUSF. I'm Sky LeBron. Today, you'll hear about a woman in Sarasota who chose to self-deport as she's been watching the national immigration crackdowns of the last few months, and now her family is thinking of doing the same. Plus, I have some things for you to do this week, including Harry Potter trivia and sunset yoga on a pier. You'll hear about it all, but first, the news. There's fewer students in Tampa Bay area public schools this year. Hillsborough County is seeing a dip of around 8,000 students in its enrollment. Pinellas County public schools are down 3,600 students. Lee Bryant leads the Pinellas Teachers Union.
It's so expensive to live in Pinellas County that families or people who would have a family don't want to live here.
Some officials are saying it's because of lower birth rates. Others are blaming the state's voucher program that redirects money for public school to private and homeschool options. Sarasota County is trying to dredge Philippi Creek to prevent more flooding if a hurricane hits. But to do that, it needs a federal permit. The Army Corps of Engineers says that permit is needed because the creek hasn't been dredged before. But Nadia Bowen with the Southgate Community Association says she's found newspaper archives that show it has been dredged.
And you can see how the creek was dredged between 1926 and 1946 aerial photographs.
The article from back in the day talks about how storms brought huge amounts of sand and silt into the creek, pretty similar to what's been happening recently. The Claw was a golf course on USF's campus that just happened to have a really cool name that reminds me of Toy Story. Now it could become a campus research building, student and staff housing, plus some green space. If that plan gets approved, the project could be complete by the summer of 2028. And just a quick note, if you're driving into downtown Tampa overnight this week, crews are doing bridge work, so the southbound I-275 ramp onto Jefferson Street and Ashley Drive, you know, the really confusing one that splits off in 6 different directions. Yeah, that'll be closed from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Tuesday through Thursday. You'll have to take exit 46A to Florabraska Avenue as a detour. I was on vacation for a bit, so this next interview was done by Megan Bowman, who did a great job filling in for me late last week. I just want to give a quick shout out to her and Gabby Paul for coming out of the bullpen for me. They were both awesome, to the point where I'm scared for my job. Anyways, here's Megan's interview.
One Sarasota woman has chosen to self-deport. Maria Martinez is undocumented and was picked up by ICE. Her family is still in Florida, but they're considering going back to Mexico with her. I'm here with WUSF reporter Nancy Guan. Hey, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Megan.
So tell me a little bit about why Maria chose to leave the U.S.
So Maria was in the Elvia Detention Center in Texas for 2 months, and she had her bond denied, which means she couldn't go back home to fight her deportation case. So she didn't really know when she'd be able to leave the detention center. Even then, she thought maybe life back home in Florida and the U.S. might not be worth it. Here's Maria talking about that.
Even if I get out, I don't want to keep living like this. Always living under the shadows, being afraid of getting arrested again and go through this again.
So do you know about how many other folks are choosing a similar path to Maria?
So that's a great question, and a lot of people are asking that, but we don't know how many people exactly are leaving on their own terms. However, we do know that the immigrant population overall has actually declined. The Pew Research Center recently put out a report that shows between January and June of this year, the foreign-born population declined by about 1.5 million people. That does include lawful and unlawful residents, but it does give us a sense of how these immigration policies are affecting our communities. And I spoke with a sociology professor at the University of South Florida, Elizabeth Aranda, and she's interviewed dozens of immigrants in the Tampa Bay region.
The fear and the chilling effect that this has instilled, some people just choose to pack it in and go home.
All right. So, what does this mean for our local communities?
The Trump administration says that less immigrants means less pressure on public resources and more jobs for Americans, but experts and economists that I've spoken with highly disagree with that.
Well, that was WUSF reporter Nancy Guan. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Megan.
If you're feeling a little magical tonight, there's Harry Potter trivia at Florida Avenue Brewing Company in Wesley Chapel. I've noticed that people who are into Harry Potter are really, really into Harry Potter, so don't go there thinking you're going to blow out the competition. There's always that one person who knows details on the movies and books that makes you wonder what they do with their free time. But hey, they're getting a $25 gift card and you're not, so who's the real winner and loser? Anyways, doors open at 6 for that. Game starts at 7, and there's not reservations or saving seats allowed. In St. Pete tomorrow night, that's Wednesday, zen out with some free sunset yoga at the St. Pete Pier. The Body Electric Yoga Company only does this once a month, so if you don't go tomorrow, you gotta wait till October. It's for people of all expertise levels, meaning if you can't make your body look like a pretzel from Auntie Anne's, they'll give you some modifications to try out. Also, it's the pier, dude. It's beautiful unless it's pouring, and if you don't like it, run down to the end of the pier and get a drink at that tiki bar. That place is sick. By the way, for the yoga, you do have to sign up beforehand. And to round things out in Palm Harbor, there's Pints and Punchlines at the Devine Brewing Company. This is an every Wednesday event. It's free, and comics from around the country stop in to give you their best zingers. The comedians are selected the day of the event and unveiled on Facebook, so maybe check out if there's anyone you'd be interested in seeing when you look it up tomorrow. That's today's Bay Blend from WUSF. Man, it feels good to be back in the seat. Gabby and Megan held it down. Hopefully, you didn't like them too much, because I'm sorry you're stuck with me again. If you're enjoying the show, give it a like and a follow from wherever you're listening, or shout at me directly. My email is lebrons@WUSF. Tell me what you like, don't like, heck, send me a picture of your cat and make my day. We'll be back with another Bay Blend tomorrow morning at 7 sharp. I'll catch you then. Until that time, have a great Tuesday.